Anger, Conceptual Metaphors in Literary Text by Zabuzhko and Pahutyak, with Polytechnic National University, authors Vitalii, Karasov, and Olena, Levchenko. In contemporary linguistics, it is widely recognized that metaphors is one of the distinctive features of idiomatic expression. Examining the processes of metaphorization in literary text is not only valuable for comprehending the artistic techniques employed by writers, but can also shed light on the cultural and social values of both a particular linguistic personality and the linguistic community as a whole. The study examines how the concept of anger is verbalized and metaphorized in literary text by Zabuzhko and Pahutyak. The analysis is based on the subcorpus of text from the VRAC16 database with linguistic material extracted using SQL queries. The theoretical framework for the analysis draws from the approaches to metaphor interpretation proposed in cognitive linguistics. The models of metaphorization of anger are classified and compared between the two authors. The objective of the research is to identify and examine the metaphorical expressions of anger in the literary works of Zabuzhko and Pahutyak, utilizing a corpus-based methodology. To accomplish this aim, the study employs several analytical techniques and procedures, including statistical criteria, modeling, conceptual analysis. The investigation of the conceptualization and metaphorical representation of anger in the Ukrainian language is a significant field of inquiry, as an anger is a universal human emotion that significantly influences individual and social behavior. Upon analyzing the verbal expressions used to convey the concept of anger in the text of Zabuzhko and her contemporary Pahutyak, it is observed that there is no significant difference in either the frequency or the quantity of these expressions, as indicated in table. The relative frequency of the verbal expressions anger in the text of Zabuzhko and Pahutyak are 0.003 and 0.005 respectively. It should be emphasized that this difference in the frequency of occurrence is statistically significant, as evidenced by the results obtained from the modified students' test. The findings indicate that anger exhibits statistical significance, suggesting that it may serve as an indicator of video style. Nevertheless, further researchers is needed to verify their preliminary hypothesis. Based on the analysis of the attributes of the verbalizers of the concept of anger using structural models, adjective plus noun and verb plus noun, we found such results. That Zabuzhko anthropomorphically conceptualizes anger as a being with genuine, righteous, holy, and noble attributes. And the metaphorization of anger as an aggressive creature is frequent. Anger is an aggressive being. Anger shouted, anger demanded, anger choked. Zabuzhko literary works feature isolated cases of the conceptual metaphors. Anger is a boiling liquids. Anger boiled, and anger is a container, like anger was found. On the next slide, you can see examples like we have righteous anger, and nothing triggers such outburst of righteous anger. Anger was choking because anger was choking her and not allowing her to speak. And anger boiled within her. At the same time, Pahutyak frequently utilizes metaphors to represent anger as a dynamic and evolving phenomena. These metaphors portray anger as a process that involves various stages such as its emergence, sudden onset, growth, and ability to either encompass. Metaphorical expressions featuring attributes such as incomprehensible anger, expressed anger, displayed anger are also commonly encountered, all of which portray anger as an abstract concept. Pahutyak employs such models of metaphorization to represent anger as a secret, anger as a light, anger as a content, or anger as an action. So we have such examples: averting anger. So the holy fire was capable of averting anger of Perun, or express anger, or keep anger. When you keep anger and resentment inside, it will only get worse for you. Or flashed with anger, her eyes flashed with anger. So we also found that the indignation in Zabuzhko's text is swelling, patriotic, immense, anachronistic, sincere, righteous. And we've differentiated between the models: indignation as an object, indignation as a storm, indignation as a boiling liquids. In Halyna Pahutyak's text, we found such models like indignation as a natural phenomenon, indignation like person, right? Like indignation as a person, especially like actor. So we have such as examples of in OksanaZabuzhko's text, like, and for example, we have this swelling indignation. We have the people that are swelling indignation in the air, but still, and also we have the example like patriotic indignation on the wave of patriotic indignation. In Halyna Pahutyak's text, we found such an example. For example, such a heinous crime will cause indignation in the Dobromil community. The findings demonstrate that metaphorical compounds featuring components of both indignation and anger may serve as indicator of video style when contrasting text authored by Zabuzhko and Pahutyak. Nevertheless, the hypothesis necessitates examination using materials from other literary works. Negative emotion states exhibit a considerable number of phraseological expressions. The texts scrutinized by Zabuzhko and Pahutyak exhibit numerous entranced metaphorical expression collocations documented in phraseological dictionaries. Phraseological expressions of this affective state are marked by the utilization of the concept of physiological manifestation of anger as a domain or urge. So, and we've classified such models: anger as an elevation in temperature, anger as an increase in size, and anger as fire. In Pahutyak's text, we classified anger as a loss of balance, anger as an organ. And we have such examples. And this is what really gets them going, makes them snort with rage, and stamp their hooves impatiently. Or the boy was clearly offended by my departure, leaving him to handle the Dutchman on his own. But what could I do when my hands were tied and I had to repeat the same thing for the thousandth time? And in Halyna Pahutyak's text, perhaps something stirs in the Turk's consciousness, some disconnect longing, but they don't see the provocative bright colors that can throw off their mental balance. Or father placed the lost button on the maps while Vlodko had to leave the gymnasium, which he didn't regret much because it had already gotten on his nerves. And in conclusion, the analysis of the metaphorization of the concept of anger in the works of Zabuzhko and Pahutyak demonstrates the multidimensionality of this concept. We identified numerous verbalizers and diverse metaphorical expressions which allowed us to uncover different facets of the concept. In Zabuzhko's text, we found a different direction on metaphorization, with anthropomorphic conceptualization being the most frequent. And Halyna Pahutyak's texts exhibit even more diverse metaphorical expressions, with 11 different directions of metaphorization identified, with anthropomorphic conceptualizations being the most frequent as well. It was found that phraseological units denoting anger with the component devil were most frequent in the texts of both authors. Furthermore, anger in the phraseological units of both authors was often conceptualized as malevolence or physiology, and the results obtained from statistical analysis revealed that the noun anger is statistically significant. This finding supports the hypothesis that it can be a marker of idiostyle, although further research on more material is necessary to confirm that. Thank you.